Every now and again, a device lands on my desk that genuinely makes me curious. And today, we're taking a look at one that's been getting quite a lot of attention. This is the Limelight Frolic. So let's get it out of the box and see what we're working with. Right, straight away, this thing really surprised me. This is a lot lighter than I expected it to be. I don't know why, but I had it in my head that this was going to feel really chunky, but it doesn't. What it does have though is a really premium look and feel to it. It doesn't feel cheap, it doesn't feel plasticky, and it actually feels very durable. Like if you accidentally knocked it off the table, you wouldn't immediately panic that it's about to start throwing error codes at you like some devices do. It's made from PEEK plastic as well, which should help keep it scratch-free over time, and overall, first impressions in the hand is very, very solid. Now, build quality is interesting. Limelight have been making nicotine devices for many years now. So while this might be their first dive into the dry herb space, you'd expect them to understand manufacturing and build quality pretty well. And honestly, this feels expensive. It feels well engineered. Nothing rattly, nothing flimsy, just a properly put together piece of equipment. But the thing that really caught my attention with this one was the heat up time. From cold to 210 degrees in about 5 to 6 seconds. That is crazy.
It's crazy shit, man.
If you ever change from something like the Crafty or the Mighty over to the Venti, you're going to know what I'm talking about. That almost 2-minute heat up time down to 20 seconds. You'll know exactly what I mean when I say you forgot what you used to do with the time you were waiting for it to heat up in. It just removes that pause completely. Now let's talk batteries. This one has got a replaceable battery, which is always a big plus if you're someone who's out and about a lot. But saying that, the battery life on this actually seems pretty respectable. Early signs, and I will say early signs because I've only had this a week, but it looks like it rivals the Venti and maybe even edges it slightly. But that's something I'll properly test in the full review. In terms of usability, I'd say this is pretty beginner friendly. You've only got 3 buttons on the device, so it's not exactly rocket science. Pick whether you want session or on demand mode, choose your temperature, and that's it, you're basically ready to go. But here's the interesting thing. Whilst it's easy for beginners to use, I actually think this is going to appeal more to the connoisseurs amongst us.
Posh with a capital P-O-S-H, posh.
Because there's something that this gives me that I just don't seem to get from the Venti. And that is huge flavour.
It's very tasty.
The terpene profiles off the first few draws of this are insane. I'm not entirely sure how it's pulling that off with the 3/4 convection, 1/4 conduction, but the taste is absolutely ridiculous for a portable. Honestly, it's almost like having a ball vape in your pocket. And that is not something I say lightly. And for the people that worry about this, the clouds this thing produces are ridiculous.
We're on vapor, Cougar. Let's do it.
I'm not going to be able to show you that here because I want to keep this video unage restricted so lots of you can see it. But trust me, this thing is a cloud machine. Now, negatives. And to be honest, I wouldn't even call this a bad one. But I did find that early on it benefited from a stir halfway through the session. That just kept the AVB nice and even. However, the longer I've been using it, the more I've realised you don't actually need to be ripping huge lungfuls out of this. Nice, steady draws seem to solve that uneven burn thing fairly quickly. And I'll hold my hands up, I think half of the problem was me thinking I was using a bloody ball vape because the taste coming out of it is insane. Cleaning wise, it looks pretty straightforward. I haven't had to do it yet, but as always, isopropyl alcohol is going to be your friend here. Accessories wise, obviously it's early days, but this one came with a 14mm water pipe adapter, an 18mm water pipe adapter, and a fold-out mouthpiece. So if you fancy switching things up, the option's there. Now let's talk price, because this one is up there with the big boys. Luckily, this one was sent to me by Creme de Vape to review, but retail-wise, you're looking about the £300 mark. And once you start adding mouthpieces and adapters, you're probably looking closer to 325 Great British pounds.
Is he British?
So yeah, definitely not entry-level pricing, but you can see where that money has gone. If you do decide you want to pick yourself up one, then I'll leave a link in the pinned comments down below to where I got this one from. And there's also a code TAKE5, which will save you £5 on your entire order. And just to be completely clear, this is not an affiliate link. I make absolutely nothing if you buy one of these. I'm just here to show you the device and give you my honest first impressions.
Always trust your first impression.
So, those honest first impressions? I'm really impressed with this little thing. Great flavour, strong vapour, fast heat up, solid build. My early feelings about the Frolic is that it's a very, very solid device, and I'm really excited to keep putting it through its paces. I can't wait to see how it stacks up against the Venti over time. Now, obviously, I've only had this a week, so this is not the full breakdown. That will be coming. So if you're not subscribed and you don't want to miss out, now would be a very good time to do that. And I also want to hear from you. First impressions, what are you saying? Is this something you could see yourself using, or are you sticking to what you've already got? Let me know in the comments. Did you think you were getting a video without having an outro poem? Come on now, you know the drill.
Poem.
Please?
We've opened the box and we've had a little peek, but the real verdict comes after a proper few weeks. New kit always brings a bit of excitement to discover. So until then, look after yourselves and each other. And as I always like to say, peace out, Cub Scouts. Keep it real. And if you could all just keep it frolic and gangster, that would be amazing. Until next time.